I tried, you know. I really, really tried. I want you guys to understand how hard I tried to give this movie the benefit of the doubt. I tried so hard to approach this movie with an open mind and understanding that it was trying to do good and that it was trying to be just like its predecessor, Cool Cat. But it's not. I wanted to give Derek Savage a second chance to try and educate and entertain us with his absolutely inept ability at filmmaking, but instead we got this.
Who's that? I'm not expecting anyone.
I have an appointment with your husband. Is he home?
Oh yeah, my husband's right here.
Before I can really go in depth and try and explain exactly what I mean, I need to go over a couple of things first. 1. There will not be any commentary on the Second Amendment or anyone's opinion on it. This is just a critique of an absolute beast of a bad movie and the thought process that created it. Number 2, there is a lot of heavy subject matter that will get discussed and reenacted very poorly. The subject matters include general violence, sexual assault, and gun violence against children, so needless to say, viewer discretion is advised. Number 3, I'm going to try my best to make this video as palatable and entertaining as possible despite the subject matter by mercilessly making fun of its creator. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to take any of those subject matters lightly, and despite his best efforts, not harbor any ill will towards Derek Savage. That being said, hello everyone, my name is John and welcome back to Homeless Movies, where I like to give secondhand films a second chance to be appreciated, whether they deserve it or not. And this is gun self-defense for ladies, and for men too. It opens with a disclaimer that goes by so quickly that if you blink you'll miss it, and somehow Derek Savage couldn't even get that right. The producers and everyone involved in the production is not responsible in any way for any material in this film. So let me get this straight. Derek Savage, in an attempt to distance himself from any of the ramifications of his potential dumbassery, has created a disclaimer where he no longer takes responsibility for the film that he conceived, wrote, directed, starred in, edited, produced, and published himself before it even starts? Derek Savage is literally responsible for everything in this film. Who do you think you are that you get to get out of this? And that last line, gun safety and gun self-defense is serious and should be performed at the viewer's discretion? That's literally the opposite message of the entire film, which makes everything we're about to see completely pointless within the first 6 seconds. Strap in, y'all. This is gonna be a bumpy one. We're treated to a shot of a young lady walking to her car when she is attacked by a random man.
Hey, you back to me. Well, hey guys, I'll tell you what, we got a special treat today.
And then we just cut to an interview with that young lady, who I'm guessing is fine, but he forgets to introduce her and he never gets around to it. So we never know her name. But she must be important. She's on the cover. Who are you? She goes on to tell a story about how she was jumped just last week.
I went to go visit my mother at work. I'd opened up my car door and I leaned down to the passenger side to grab my purse. And I just felt arms around my waist trying to pull me out of my car. And I didn't have a gun, but I used my feet and I got away.
And Derek responds to her by repeating it back to her and then asking what happened, even though she just said what happened.
So in other words, you were sitting in your car, about to get out, your door was open, you got rushed.
Yep. Ooh, he was a big guy too. Terrifying.
What happened?
And then he asks her if she would have felt safer if she had a firearm, after she already said she would have felt safer if she had a firearm.
You did get lucky. Do you think if you had a firearm, would that have changed things, or would you feel safer right now?
But again, a gun would have probably helped me out there, at least to scare him.
Are you getting the impression that Derek Savage may not be a good listener? Perish the thought. We then go back to the girl to watch her get mugged again. Cut! But then Derek Savage yells cut, the attacker stops, and Derek comes in to explain to us that she was being attacked, as if we couldn't see that.
So I just cut the scene right here because this lovely lady was just about to be attacked. What could be happening to her right now? She could be kidnapped, she could be raped. You fill in that blank right there.
Yeah, you fill in the blank, you sick freak. Okay, Derek Savage has given her a gun, we're gonna redo the scene, and this time we're gonna see how it plays out.
Hey, what?
Oh my my god! No! Back off or I'll shoot!
Oh! You know, I guess it's a good thing that the attacker waited for Derek Savage to yell action, because, I mean, if he was just an actor, this would come off as totally scripted and kind of propagandist, but no. This is real shit, people. This is real life. I don't know who for, but for somebody, this is real life.
New York girl barbarically raped by teenage gangsters. Police search for 2 men who robbed boy in New York subway. Woman robbed at gunpoint for 10 cents. What is happening nowadays?
All right, you know, these are all very interesting, but when are we going to get to the real question here? Why does Derek Savage keep using Comic Sans? Oh, okay, man. It's just a joke, just a question. All right, fine. Staring contest. Well, that was over the top for no reason, but I still feel like it was missing something. Gun self-defense for ladies. Watch as we murder the credits. Yeah. Wait a damn minute here. I knew this looked familiar. Now you're just ripping off the Incredible Bulk? Dude, that's low, even for you. Oh yeah, did I mention that everything we just watched was only the first 3 minutes of this movie? What have I done to myself?
Hi, I'm Derek Savage, and welcome to Gun Self-Defense for Women. We're going to teach you how to get out of a situation with your gun. In other words, how to protect yourself from being attacked, beaten, raped, or even murdered, and how to protect your family and your friends from becoming a victim.
Oh yeah, I can totally see why you wouldn't want to be held responsible for anything in this movie. It's all just for shits and giggles, right?
And just so you know, I got my first gun when I was about 10 years old, and I've had one ever since. Plus, I used to work in the machine gun business, so I guess you could say I have a little bit of knowledge on this topic, on this subject right here.
Okay, let me stop you right there. When I was 8 years old, I was living in Las Vegas, and my father, the country boy that he is, took my brother and I out of school for an entire week to take us to upstate Nevada and teach us how to hunt and to shoot. Both of my parents are former military, and my father is an avid gun collector. I have been surrounded by guns my entire life. And gun safety and responsible gun ownership have been key parts of my upbringing. Even I have a gun. This is not a prop or a toy. This is a real-life gun that my father bought me one year for Christmas. Because America. So here's the thing. Literally none of that qualifies me as an expert on gun safety or gun self-defense. So tell me, Derek Savage, who used to work in the machine gun business, what the fuck makes you so special? Why did you feel like it had to be you who had to be the big hero and make this piece of crap movie? Sorry. I jumped the gun a little bit. What were you gonna say?
Why am I making this project?
Dude, I literally just asked you that! Seriously, you are a terrible listener. When we come back, Derek is explaining the 3 types of handgun and the different kinds of ammunition used within. He goes over some very standard information, and to be fair, it's not bad. Don't put your finger on the trigger unless you're gonna fire. How to eject the magazine and check to make sure that the chamber's empty. But that's when things start to get sexy.
Once again, you've heard me say this before. You will hear me say this several times. Get to know your weapon. And ladies, hey, treat it just like, when you first meet somebody that you really like. You want to get to know them better. You want to get to know the person's favorite color, their favorite ice cream, what they like to wear and all that. You're interested in get to know them. Treat your handgun the same way.
Derek Savage fucks guns. Derek? Buddy? Why do you have a poster for the film that you're making in the background before you've made it?
Hey, it's time to go on with the project.
Or you can just run away. That's cool too. We jump to another interview, but this time it's with a conservative talk radio host from Las Vegas who actually does have some good advice, but then follows it up with a horrible anecdote.
I heard you talking about a cocktail waitress.
She went out to her car one day, and a guy pulled a gun on her as she was getting in her car.
Wow.
And she had just bought the car, And so she didn't know what to do, and she did the very, very smart thing, very courageous thing. With one hand, she threw her keys out the window. With the other hand, she put it up against the gun barrel. He shot right through her hand because she was smart enough to know that there are usually two crime scenes in most cases like that. There's the place where they kidnap you. There's the place where you wind up, because they get you out in the desert somewhere.
And Derek Savage, who we've seen so far handle everything with nothing but tact and class, after hearing the story of a woman who might have been murdered in the desert, cuts to a scene of him firing shotguns off in the desert like a crazy person.
Know that sucker perfect right there, too.
Dude, I don't think you used the right part of that story. And he uses this ego-driven BS as a transition to just go back to teaching you how to use your gun. Why couldn't you just do it all at once? This movie is so fractured, I can't keep track of where we're going. I feel like we're on the roller coaster from The Amazing Bulk. He goes back to lecturing about bullets when he drops one, and it seems like he was so embarrassed that he just cuts to another interview. Except this one's in front of a green screen with something the color of the green screen. Why do you even have the green screen if you're just gonna make the green screen look like a green screen? You're not even trying, man. He introduces us to a woman named Davida, who has some very interesting stories. So tell us, Davida, how sane are you?
Well, you're very welcome. I think it's very, very important that mature women learn how to have a gun, fire a gun, and be prepared on their own, not rely on someone else, and definitely not rely on the police. You call the police, and they'll tell you, we prioritize things. We can't guarantee how fast we'll be there. It could be half an hour, it could be 2 hours, it could be 4 hours. I live in a very nice place that is gated still. There was a man lurking around, and I saw him, and I sure wish I had a gun, because there were reports later, and they didn't want to let us know because they didn't want to scare everyone, where people were robbed when they went to check the mail.
You know what? I agree. This woman totally deserves to have the power of life and death over another human being. Definitely. Probably. Maybe? No. And why do they keep moving their heads around so dramatically like they're Muppets with somebody's hand up their ass?
You have a gun, you're self-reliant.
Really? Cool. I wish somebody would tell the credit agency or the local bank. Maybe now I can get that loan. Alright, enough horsing around. Let's get back to the cheetah lady.
You just have to constantly, it's not being paranoid, it's just knowing what's going on around you all the time. And if you know that and they know you're on to them, they're going to find a weaker target.
Remember, ladies, you don't have to be faster than the mugger, just other women. Let's cue up another montage of Derek Savage waving his dick around in the desert and transition over to the Las Vegas gun show.
Hi, we're at the Las Vegas Gun Show today.
Damn right it is. Check out those guns. I'm beginning to see why Mama Cat likes you so much. Meow. Oh.
A small Glock right there. It's 9mm, just $4.79 on that one.
Oh, you meant the actual Las Vegas gun show. That's way more boring. Daddy Derek claims that the gun shows are not the big bad wolf that the medium portrays them as, but that they're actually a family event with children and everything. And he's gonna prove it to us by going inside, looking at a bunch of stuff, pandering to the troops, and showing us no children whatsoever. Consistency.
That's an actually 50 cal bullet right there. Look how big that is.
Live 50 caliber rounds? Oh man, the kids would just love that. Show and tell's gonna be awesome. You know what? You get an A for effort. I mean, it was your generation that invented participation trophies and all. We wouldn't want you to feel left out, now would we?
Very family oriented. I hope you're having fun. And really, I just want to show you that it's not bad in here. It's really cool.
Oh my god, these transitions are killing me. Did somebody make a bet that he couldn't release a DVD where every transition happens mid-sentence? So yeah, the next scene involves a green screen that's still green screen colored. Dude, just because it's a green screen doesn't mean it has to stay green. It's not literal. And this is where we're introduced to Patty, who is very clearly a self-defense based salesperson who specializes in selling devices to women. How do we know these products are for women? Well, just look at them. They're so patronizing. They go through the pepper spray explaining what it is and how it works, and then they start talking about the stun guns when this happens.
This looks like
a bad boy. I mean, if it
It does.
if it weren't in pink, this would be rather intimidating. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
And there it is. In a single sentence, he's completely invalidated everything he just set out to do. You know, if it wasn't pink, I'd be real intimidated. Oh, well, that's good. It's good to know that that thing you just tried to sell to those people is completely useless because it's pink. That's good to know. 50,000 volts? Psh, I ain't scared of that shit, bro. It's pink, and pink ain't scary because I'm a man. And this whole video is about self-defense against men. And because it's pink, this thing is worthless, and now it's a complete waste of time, and I don't know what this accent is. They then go into this sales pitch of, well, you know, you can always answer the door with it, and if somebody's walking down the street and they kind of look at you funny, just pull it out and wave your big dick taser right in their face, and you know, that way you'll be safe, because the only way to truly be safe in this world is to look like a crazy asshole. And if you think that was bad, what's up next is literally the worst. After another bad reenactment where the attacker from earlier tries to mug the sales lady and her kids, in one shot we actually see the pepper spray leave the bottle, but in the other shot, he's very clearly just getting hit with plain water.
And that's what I call high quality H2O.
Derek Savage tries to pull the weirdest, most insensitive stunt I've ever seen somebody put on film.
Wow, it's such a beautiful day in Las Vegas today, and I just love it when the weather is like this out here. But unfortunately, I'm not that happy right now, and that's because I saw an article on the news just a little bit ago where a child got hurt with a gun.
After claiming to have heard about another child getting shot here in America, Derek Savage decides that he wants to show us something super important.
Come on in with me, and let me show you something very cool and very interesting too.
We assume that it's going to be something informative or constructive or something that would really add to the conversation here in the States about children getting shot on an almost daily basis. But what we get is his best impression of Vince the ShamWow guy, of him selling his bullshit Cool Cat merchandise for 5 minutes. It's disgusting, and I hate it.
Here's the actual DVD. Cool Cat's Kid Superhero is available worldwide in stores, Amazon, everywhere.
And he doesn't even do this in a, hey, if you buy my products, maybe this will save your kid's life kind of way. But it's more of a, I've manipulated you emotionally into feeling very sad. How about you buy some merchandise to fill that void in your soul? And then he shows us this entire clip from Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Oh wait, I mean Cool Cat Kid Superhero, which is totally not the same movie with 10 extra minutes added for Cynthia Rothrock's cameo.
Is that what I think it is?
Oh no, it's a gun, and it looks like a real one.
It is a real gun. I saw the policeman's one before. What should we do?
His daddy's in the front yard, so let's go there now.
It's a gun over there. I can bring it to school and take everyone's lunch money. It's going to be that time for me.
Totally not the same. He then comes back and he's all smiles and happy and buy my merch. Wait, you said a kid got shot? I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm never going to bring it up again. Derek Savage just used the shooting of a child and the fear of your child possibly getting shot as well to shill his merchandise with a smile. Dude, you should be ashamed of yourself. Period. Especially because you still have a poster for the movie you're currently shooting hanging on the wall? How do you do that? It's almost like you're just kind of making shit up as you go along and you have no real plan for this movie, but that would just be silly now, wouldn't it? That would imply that you put only the minimum amount of foresight into the idea that it's called Gun Self-Defense for Ladies, and then put yourself on the cover front and center. Mixed messages much? Oh no, wait. You added that little line at the end that says it's for men too, which is good, because I thought it was just patronizing bullshit for a second there. In the next scene, we see Daddy Derek promising us a fun and engaging activity where we get to learn all about martial arts, which we can use in tandem with our concealed carry license. I'm sure this will be in no way offensive or insensitive or trigger anyone. Let's see how this goes.
I was raped when I was 19.
Oh fuck. This woman's name is Rachel, and she tells an extremely personal and intimate story about how she was raped, the psychological trauma that comes with it, and how learning martial arts helped her gain her autonomy and independence back, despite the fact that the scars will always be there and she should be commended. She deserves better than to be used in this fear-mongering piece of shit, which is not going to actually promote safety in the world, because as we saw, Derek Savage wiped his hands of any good or bad that could be coming out of this film, but to sell bullshit like merchandise, t-shirts, and kids' storybooks. Rachel deserves better. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about it. The next scene involves Derek Savage interviewing quite possibly the oldest woman in existence, where Derek Savage states that he believes that all senior citizens should carry a gun. He's very clearly never driven in the state of Florida, or he would understand why that is literally the worst idea he's ever had. And that includes his new crowdfunded project, Cool Cat Stops a School Shooting. And no, I didn't make that up. Go ahead, look it up. I'll wait. Now that you're back from checking to make sure that I wasn't a liar, let's see what Daddy Derek's up to next.
Who could that be? I'm not expecting anybody.
Halt! Cut!
Oh, he's just yelling at some poor community theater actress about how she opens the door without looking first.
People, always, the reason I'm cutting this scene is I want you to always use that peephole.
Wait. No, he's not. He's yelling at me. Hey, I am the critic here, not you. You don't boo me. I am the one who boos. We then watch this weird further sexualization of weapons as the actress is directed to bring out her husband, a 12-gauge shotgun, which she cocks to scare away the voice of Derek Savage screaming off camera.
I have an appointment with your husband. Is he home?
Oh yeah, my husband's right here.
And then she delivers this, really weird line.
Hey, very good. Very good. Stay right there, Nicole. Hey, what do you like? You like that gun?
Oh, it reminds me of a baby, but it's even better.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but can you not tell the difference between a baby and a shotgun? Man, I hope she doesn't run a daycare. I mean, the two are awfully similar. Baby, shotgun, baby, shotgun, baby, shotgun, baby, shotgun, baby with a shotgun. Now that's a movie I want to see. Daddy Derek then swings his dick around enough to do a Lucas wipe to bring us back to the woman from earlier. She goes on to tell a story of an armed man who was hiding from the police outside of her window, which admittedly is very scary, and Derek Savage treats it with all the respect that it deserves by cutting back to a shot of him showing off in the desert.
Boom!
Which, I'm not gonna lie, is like 80% of the rest of the movie. He recruits his PA, the chubby dude from earlier who was acting like Butch the Bully's absent father, and some random woman who delivers this line with about the same amount of conviction as whoever butchered her eyebrows.
I'm very excited to learn how to use a firearm to protect myself in this crazy world.
Ooh, girl, I hope you got your money back. Okay, look, I think we've all had enough fun with guns for one day, so why don't we all just kick back, relax, and think about what else Derek Savage could possibly ruin. What? What the? Oh no.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing.
Seriously, how is this guy not the most jiffable person alive? He's dancing around his living room with a knife like he was the Star Wars kid's alcoholic absent uncle dad. He tries to give off this presentation like he's some sort of trained super soldier by giving this knife presentation all alone in his living room. But everything he does is just gonna get you killed because when it comes to fighting somebody off, confidence is not key. And he talks about how, like, you can't go around stabbing people in the movies, but then he talks about how in the movies women are always having a butcher knife, so it's always good to do like in the movies with the butcher knife. So am I supposed to act like him in the movies or not like him in the movies? I can't keep anything straight. This movie's driving me crazy. Can we please go back to the guns? Because if I keep laughing at this, I'm probably gonna get a hernia. All right. Daddy Derek is finally ready to get his concealed carry license. The culmination of everything that we've been put through in this entire movie. He's promised to show us how to do it. He's promised to show us the entire process. And then we just skip the entire thing completely. Really? This entire movie, you've been talking about how great it was going to be that we were finally going to get to go on this step-by-step process about how we were going to get our CCW, and all you did was just fucking sign up and show up and go get a test? It can't possibly be that easy. Oh, it is that easy. Well, God bless America. Well, that was upsetting. Hey, look, I got an idea. Why don't we actually interview a woman getting her CCW license and get her perspective on a few things?
Well, a lot of people, they think that, I'm going to go get my CCW and start carrying a gun. It's more than that. You can get your CCW, carry a gun, but you also have to be mentally ready to be, if you are in a situation, to pull your gun out to defend yourself. So I don't want the ladies to think that they can just come to the class, buy a gun, and they're ready. You need to come practice. You need to get familiar with your gun. You need to do various classes so you're able to shoot better and feel much more comfortable with a gun. That's what a lot of people don't realize. A gun is a major thing to have.
It's a commitment.
It's
what
commitment.
it is. It's
and if you are not mentally ready, you're going to be carrying a CCW or open carry, and you're not mentally ready to use that gun to defend yourself, it's going to harm you because somebody may be and grab it out.
Wow. Everything she said was amazing advice. It completely undermines the idea that everyone should own a gun just because, but hey, why isn't she making this movie? Eventually, Daddy Derek gets his concealed carry license delivered in the mail by quite possibly the shortest mailman in existence.
Oh, wow. Hey, thanks. You have a nice day now.
You too.
And claims that this is the end of the documentary. Wait, this is a documentary? And why are you using the same credits from Cool Cat? What is happening? Wait, what's happening?
Hey!
I get it. I see what you did there. You just spent an hour and a half of our lives spouting the gospel of gun safety, responsible gun ownership, gun self-defense, and self-preservation just to spend the credits running around like a moron just so you could milk out one more scene of you trying to look like a badass by irresponsibly firing guns in all directions just because you think it makes you look cool? You were already perceived as lazy, incompetent, and shallow, but this movie makes you something completely worse. A hypocrite. At least in Cool Cat, you had a decent message for the kids about how to stand up to bullies and how to treat each other with respect and kindness. And yes, it was bad, but at least it had heart. This is not that. This is you messing with people's lives and their safety because you think you know better. This fear-mongering propagandist piece of shit is essentially the 21st century version of Reefer Madness without any of the charm. You know, they say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and you just couldn't let things lie with Cool Cat. It's like that weird line from The Dark Knight.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Man, this was really heavy. This one was a real tough one. I really am looking forward to everyone's thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Don't forget to click the like and share buttons, and if you really like this video, click the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you get notifications when I upload another video. I'd also like to say thank you to my patrons over on Patreon who have been very patient with me and are willing to part with their very hard-earned money just to watch me get mad at movies. I can't possibly thank you enough. Thank you guys so much for making it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. And just remember, be cool to each other.